Welcome to The Political Bridge, the podcast where we explore pressing issues from across the ideological spectrum. I'm your host, Eda, and today we're diving into a topic that touches on identity, law, and societal norms, the debate over gendered language in legal documents. Specifically, should states replace terms like mother and father with gender-neutral alternatives such as parent or birthing parent? This isn't just about semantics, it reflects evolving understandings of family structures, gender identity, and legal inclusivity. We'll examine the arguments for and against these changes, considering their implications for individual rights, legal clarity, and the fabric of our communities. Joining me to navigate this complex discussion are Nico, our conservative voice, and Jordan, our progressive voice. Welcome to you both.
Thanks, Ada. The push to replace mother and father with gender-neutral terms in legal documents, like birth certificates or adoption papers, is a concerning overreach that undermines fundamental societal structures. These terms are not merely linguistic, they reflect biological reality and deeply rooted cultural and legal traditions. For millennia, societies have recognized the distinct roles of mothers and fathers. Replacing these terms dilutes the specific legal and emotional significance associated with each parent. It creates unnecessary ambiguity, particularly in areas like medical history where biological lineage is crucial. Furthermore, it can alienate the vast majority of parents who identify with these traditional roles. States should prioritize clarity, biological accuracy, and respect for established family norms. This isn't about exclusion, it's about preserving precision and the natural order of family. We risk erasing distinct identities for the sake of an abstract inclusivity that ultimately serves no practical legal purpose and can even complicate matters, as seen in cases where specific parental roles are legally relevant.
Nico, with all due respect, this isn't about erasing anything. It's about expanding inclusivity and ensuring legal documents accurately reflect the diverse realities of modern families. The traditional definitions of mother and father simply don't encompass all family structures, especially for same-sex parents, transgender parents, or non-binary parents. Forcing these families into outdated terminology can be invalidating and legally problematic. Consider a child with two mothers or two fathers. Using mother and father on their birth certificate is factually incorrect and can lead to confusion regarding parental rights and responsibilities. Moreover, legal clarity is enhanced, not diminished, by using precise terms like parent 1 and parent 2, or birthing parent and non-birthing parent when biological sex isn't the defining characteristic of parenthood. States like California, Washington, and New York have already moved towards gender-neutral language, recognizing that legal documents should affirm all families, not just those conforming to a specific traditional model. This is about ensuring equal recognition and dignity under the law for every child and every parent.
Thank you both for those strong opening statements. Jordan, you emphasized inclusivity and accurately reflecting diverse family structures, citing states that have adopted gender-neutral language. Nico, you raised concerns about undermining traditional roles, biological reality, and potential ambiguity. My first follow-up question to both of you is this: how do these proposed changes, or the lack thereof, impact children directly? Are there tangible benefits or harms to children when their legal documents use parent instead of mother or father, or vice versa? What's the direct effect on the child's identity, well-being, or legal standing in either scenario? Nico, let's start with you.
Ada, the direct impact on children from replacing mother and father with gender-neutral terms can be quite significant, and not for the better. Children thrive on clarity and understanding their origins. When a child's birth certificate uses generic terms like parent 1 or birthing parent, it can obscure their biological lineage, which is vital for medical history, understanding their heritage, and forming a complete sense of self. Imagine a child needing to trace a genetic predisposition. Vague terminology complicates this. Furthermore, it can create a sense of detachment from the unique foundational roles that mother and father represent in a child's development. Studies have consistently shown the benefits of having both a mother and a father figure in a child's life, each bringing distinct contributions. Erasing these terms from legal documents doesn't change reality. it merely attempts to redefine it, potentially confusing children about their own family structure and the distinct identities of their caregivers. The legal standing is already clear through parental rights. This change primarily affects identity and recognition, often to the child's detriment by removing specific ancestral markers.
Nico, I respectfully disagree that gender-neutral language harms children. In fact, for many, it fosters a stronger sense of belonging and legal security. For children in non-traditional families, having legal documents that accurately reflect their parents' identities validates their family structure. A child with two moms, for example, benefits immensely from a birth certificate that lists parent for both, rather than forcing one into a father role or leaving a blank. This prevents confusion and potential discrimination in legal or administrative contexts. The child's well-being is enhanced when their family is fully recognized and respected by the state. Regarding medical history, specific biological information can still be included where relevant, separate from the parental designation itself. For instance, birthing parent clearly indicates the biological mother, while parent can cover all others. This is about legal accuracy and inclusivity, not erasing biological facts. Children's identities are shaped by love and care, not by restrictive labels on a document. When legal documents align with their lived reality, it reinforces their sense of stability and acceptance, which is paramount for their development and mental health.
Both of you have presented compelling arguments on the impact on children. Nico, you've highlighted the importance of biological clarity and traditional roles for a child's understanding of their origins and identity. Jordan, you've emphasized the validation and security that gender-neutral language offers to children in diverse family structures. To steelman the other side for a moment, Nico, proponents argue that using parent instead of mother or father doesn't erase biological reality, but rather acknowledges that legal parenthood isn't exclusively defined by it, especially in cases of adoption or same-sex couples. They contend it actually provides greater legal clarity for diverse families. How do you respond to the idea that this change is about legal precision for all, not just a specific ideology? And Jordan, opponents suggest that these changes can dilute the unique and distinct contributions of mothers and fathers, potentially leading to a societal de-emphasis on these vital roles. How do you address concerns that this shift could inadvertently diminish the recognition of a mother's or father's specific importance?
Ada, while I understand the argument for legal precision for all, I believe it's a misdirection. Legal precision is best served by terms that are unambiguous and universally understood. Mother and father are precisely that. When we introduce parent 1 and parent 2, we lose that immediate, intuitive understanding of roles and biological connection. For adoption, existing legal frameworks already accommodate adoptive parents without erasing the biological terms on original birth records, which are often sealed but accessible for medical necessity. The push for gender-neutral terms often stems from an ideological desire to de-emphasize biological sex, rather than a genuine need for legal clarity. In reality, it can create more confusion, particularly for legal systems that rely on established definitions. For instance, in cases of surrogacy, distinguishing between a gestational parent and an intended parent is crucial, and generic parent terms can obscure these vital distinctions. The existing legal structure, with its specific terms, is more precise for the vast majority of cases and can be adapted for exceptions without dismantling fundamental terminology.
Nico, the concern that gender-neutral terms diminish the importance of mothers and fathers is understandable, but I believe it's unfounded. This isn't about devaluing anyone's role. It's about acknowledging that parenthood takes many forms. A mother's love and a father's guidance are not defined or diminished by the words on a birth certificate. Their importance comes from their actions, their care, and their relationship with their child, not from a legal label. In fact, for parents who identify as non-binary or transgender, being accurately represented in legal documents can affirm their parental identity, strengthening their bond with their child and their standing in the community. This move enhances, rather than diminishes, the recognition of diverse forms of parental love and commitment. It provides a more inclusive framework where all parents, regardless of gender identity or family structure, are equally recognized and respected by the state. This fosters a more equitable society where every child's family is seen as valid, which ultimately strengthens the fabric of our communities by embracing their full diversity.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the foundational arguments for and against gender-neutral language in legal documents to its direct impact on children and the broader implications for societal recognition of parental roles. It's clear this issue touches on deeply held beliefs about family, identity, and the role of the state. Thank you, Nico and Jordan, for illuminating the complexities and nuances of this debate with such thoughtful and well-reasoned arguments. Your insights have certainly provided our listeners with much to consider. To our listeners, we encourage you to continue this conversation respectfully and thoughtfully. You can find more information on this topic and previous episodes on our website, thepoliticalbridge.com. Join us next time as we bridge another divide. Until then, stay curious and keep